Word? Okay, so what do you want to know about this job?
Um, I mean, I guess will I find another job making more money? I guess I'm okay where I am at the moment, but I don't know if I necessarily see myself like growing there or maybe there is an opportunity there. I don't know. I haven't been there long. I'm just wondering if maybe later on my finances will be better.
Okay. Okay. So we kind of want to know like should we leave or should we go, right? We're at a stalemate with as far as growth is concerned. Um so so you've got a repeated message here and that talks a lot about Ten of Cups. So again, new opportunities, new moments for growth, which is good. This is not a bad thing to have the Ten of Cups. And whenever you have this Ten of Cups, I feel like for a career reading, it's going to be a little bit time to move on, especially if you can't go anywhere. Are you like in a desk job?
No, but a medical assistant, but I mean, I do sit on my desk for a while to do the notes.
Yeah, yeah. So if you can't move forward in this clinic, I would say they're talking about trying another. Have you ever considered like a leadership role? Because I think what you need is like they're talking about being in charge. You need to be in charge of like a team. And here you feel more alone.
Like right now, I am supposed to be the lead. Um, but it's just this place is like chaotic. Like some people are not really happy. But right now I am supposed to be like the lead. Everybody's supposed to come to me and if they have any issues, it's just like a small place. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can make it for years. Like I know some people are unhappy and they haven't even been there for 1 year. It's not that I'm not unhappy. It's just I don't see myself being there for like a very long time unless something changes.
Yeah, this is just kind of a job to provide a safety net for you,
Mm-hmm.
is basically what this is, which is fine. I see you at a bigger facility. I don't know if you've ever thought about like a hospital or going to a hospital, but I see you with more responsibility and at a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you're pulling strength just right now. I think it's going to be more emotionally draining than you might anticipate in the intern between finding another job and trying to just stick with this one because I wouldn't advise just like upping and quitting, but I see you somewhere else for sure. You have to decide though, like if that's where you're gonna want. If you go to a bigger facility, I definitely see more responsibility, but they're showing me like money falling on you, money raining on you. So I think this is going to be a good time for anybody in medical, really. If you need to job hop for your sanity, do it.
Yeah, I mean, this place is like exhausting. I'm always tired. I want to come home and just sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would definitely, if you need a job hop, do it. Do it, do it, do it. But also as a real world thing, everything that you're learning at this job is a skill that needs to go on your resume. You might not say like you're in a leadership role, I have management experience. I have leadership experience or supervisor experience, however you want to word it.
Mhm,
You have that.
mhm.
And you can say, well, I was in charge of 5 people, 6 people, whatever. Use this time to your advantage, but also like start elevating your resume. I'm serious. Start elevating your resume. New things are going to find you. So what's interesting is you have two back-to-back Arcana cards. Okay. And so whenever we see the Arcana, that is literally you, and how you're moving through the tarot. So 10 of Cups, anytime we see the 10, we're kind of like, we're at the end of what could possibly take place. And after that, it's going to be up to us to kind of grab onto the opportunities that come before us through external means. So the moon talks about not knowing your direction, but like it's a good time to start formulating a plan on where you want to go, right? This is right before things kind of start to take off for you, but the only way they're going to take off for you is if you utilize this time frame between 2 and 6 months. I think you're going to get an offer. If you start polishing up your resume, if you have a good banging ass cover letter, and you just start putting them out there. I don't think the job opportunity is going to come like tomorrow. Um,
Yeah.
unless you have like a super good connection. Um, but I think within the next 2 to 6 months, if you keep putting out those resumes on there, and remember, everything you're doing at this clinic, please list it. Please list it and use those skills in interviews. Okay. The
Okay.
first 2 or 3 interviews, I feel like you're not going to get, and you're going to be very defeated because they'll look real nice, but they'll be exactly like this place on the inside.
Mm.
So we have to be aware of that. Um, but for you, I definitely see you like working in a bigger facility. I think in a bigger facility, you will thrive because you will have more. They talk a lot about management, 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 management. They're throwing management out there. And I think that's going to be a role that you come into.
Okay. So do you see like I have to find this by myself or
Yes.
it won't be else? Because one of my friends literally just asked me, "Oh, are you interested in a management position?"
Yeah, so I would say that if opportunities are coming to you, then you can be like, I mean, if that's something you want to do, also remember if you're managing a friend or working with a friend, that's going to change the ecosystem of your relationship.
Yeah, no, she wouldn't work with me. She just knows a lot of people, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would say yes to almost every opportunity that comes your way and use your intuition to feel it out if it's the right opportunity. Whenever I advise people on career, I say the job has to work for you as much as they are demanding work from you in return. Like they have to give you as many benefits as they are wanting the work from you. Okay. So the star talks about a really good thing happening and like kind of coming into your life and giving you a direction on new beginnings. I really just don't think that you're going to be staying at the current job that you are in right now. Um, and you could try this job with a friend. Is it a bigger facility? Because I see you at a bigger facility.
I actually didn't ask her too many questions yet because I said after what's happening in this place, I was like, the manager I have now makes management seem awful. So I was a little
That's
thrown
because
off
they
by
don't know how to manage.
yeah, he's just like all over the place. So he comes to me with opinions. So he always wants to see what I think first before he makes a decision.
That's
Yeah.
called being a manager without getting the manager pay. I
Yeah.
told you you're supposed to be in management.
Yeah. So he says that I'm like I guess like his right hand man. Like I have his ear. Nobody else has his ear. But it's kind of like, I mean, I did ask for a raise. He did give me a bit of a raise because he said that he wants to keep me there and he wants to make me happy. So he did do that for me. It's just, I still feel like I want more.
I was going to ask you, is it enough? Because it doesn't feel like that's enough.
No, I wanted more, and what he gave me, I did say to him, I was like, I do appreciate it, but that doesn't really make a difference in like
It
what I.
feels like that was a pity raise. Like it was $1, but then taxes ate it up and then you don't get anything.
Yeah, so I was like, that's really not anything at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah, like that. It was
back
like I call those on paper raises. It was an on paper raise,
yeah.
but do I see it? No. Does it help me pay my light bill? Absolutely not.
He's like, in 6 months we'll review it again, but I was like, no, but I want it like now.
People don't have time for that in this economy. You either have it or you don't, and that's fine. But that seems like manipulative gaslighting right there to
Hmm.
keep you there because then he would have to do his own job.
Yeah.
So be careful with that. So your next couple cards are very, very interesting because I feel like this is going to be a moment where, again, you just have a lot of leadership in you. Because I'm advising you to take charge in this relationship and I'm advising you to take charge now. So your next card is no one is coming for you. Nobody's going to come for you and try to like save you because if they do that, then you're not going to be there for them. You're not going to be there to like talk to bounce ideas off of, etc. And that's what keeps you small because you're constantly out here like looking for more, desiring more, and not feeling fulfilled by what you're getting.
Hmm.
So you're going to have to take charge of that. That's why I say in this time frame, this 2 to 6 months, what is it? January, February, March, April, May, June, July. By July, I think you're going to be turning a lot better relief financially. Like it's almost like you're getting it, you're working at it, and then by July you're really going to feel it. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, I have savings. Yes, I have this. It's almost like you need to see that number to feel secure.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Um, so I think like taking the job opportunity, I would just really ask your friend a lot of questions about the facility, about the benefits. What do you get out of it? Like, what are you looking for in your dream place of growth? And we need to look at that. Because I don't think you're looking for a unicorn. I just don't think you've found that security in a job yet. And really, you want some place where you can grow,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're getting a repeated message here, which I love for you, but you might not like it because again, like this is forcing you to really look at the reality of the situation because you could stay here and be super comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
right? Super comfortable and be totally at ease with your life and just live out your days. But I don't think emotionally you're ever gonna be that way. Because you're getting the blank at the crossroads again, and that's gonna force you to make a choice. Do I want to stay here or do I want to leave? And if the choice is I want to leave, then you have to be really, really on top of it.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm serious. Like you gotta like write on your resume, like if you want this man, you gotta go after him. If you want that new job, in, a management or a higher salary position, then you got to start like today, polish up my resume, get what I need taken care of.
Okay.
Okay. But I definitely see you in like a bigger place, bigger
Okay.
facility. And I think that'll give you more opportunities for growth. Have you ever thought about going back to school for like something else besides medical assisting?
I haven't. No, I don't know. I don't know when I would do it. I just feel like I'm so drained all the time. Like I don't know if it's because of the
It's
relationship aspect of work.
yeah. I think once you get to a different place, you'll feel better. Um, but you've got a lot of opportunities, a lot of good moments where if you're like, I'm not happy anywhere, I think that would be a good time to consider. They're talking about expanding your medical knowledge, especially if you want to go into management.
Okay.
I think you'd be really good at it. Like, this is like the field that you're in, medical is like a really good feeling, like
Okay.
not feeling, field for you.
I just don't know like what I would go back to school for though. Like I don't know.
I hear nursing. I see you like nursing.
I mean, if I could go back in time, absolutely I would have done that route, but um I don't know.
I see you nursing. I think so. This is the timeline I see. And I see you get very serious with this guy. And it's almost like, I don't know if you end up living in his parents' house with everybody, like a generational home kind of type of thing. I mean, that's on the rise right now, right? Or
And
you get your own place. But I see you kind of move up slowly, like you get your LPN, you could then get your RN. But I see you at a bigger place, bigger situations, more money. I see a lot of money coming your way. But Eight of Pentacles talks about you needing to steadily work for it. This is going to be a slow build up. Like the life you have now is going to look very, very different when they're talking about the next 5 to 10 years. That's where you need to look at the 5 to 10 years. Because right now you're not settling, but they're using the word you've settled. You're settled in almost. And that's not emotionally filling your needs.
mm,
So what you're going to have to do is kind of work yourself out of this hole.
yeah, I know like I worked in like a podiatry. We did a lot of wound care. So I always say that I miss the wound care aspect. But when I did it, he had me see patients, but he billed it as a nurse's visit. But if I were to go somewhere else, I think I would need that nurse's like certification, which I am not. So I guess that's what stops me from it.
Don't
But
be scared. I think you would really love it.
mhm,
Don't be scared. Look for opportunities in which you can grow. And that's why I say go for a bigger facility because then that'll give you that tuition assistance.
okay.
right now, I don't think you have those benefits in this place you're at now. Like if you
Oh,
talk to your
yeah.
HR place, I don't think they provide that. I think if you go to a bigger facility, then they will reimburse that. That's why I say hospital, because
Okay.
there's a lot of opportunities for growth.
I mean, there is a hospital right by me. I could see what's available there. It's like 10 minutes away.
Then what are you doing, girl?
I know. I know what I'm doing. I'm just like lost.
Don't be lost. Don't be lost. There is an avenue for you, and I think you're gonna really, really like it. If wound care is your jam, and it's not for everybody, but if that's your jam, then you should go for it. And if you're like, hey, what do I need to do to get on the wound care team? What do I need to do to, see patients, do everything? But with a hospital or in the medical field in general, everything is going to be about the piece of paper that you have, the credentials that you hold. So it's going to be a constant, like, I need to keep moving on. I need to keep moving up.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's going to pay off for you in a big deal. Eight of Pentacles seriously talks about the work that you put in is how that's going to help you. With the dude, I think everything's going to fall into place. But for the career, I really see you scaling and being much happier in a bigger place. You need more camaraderie, you need more community, and you need more options. And right now, you're in like a safety net.
Yeah, this place has been easier than my last job, but I like my last job, I multitasked. I was responsible for a lot of things. Like there were more girls I was managing. I was doing more. The only reason I left was because it was far and I just felt like it was my time to go. But here from the beginning, I was like, I can do more. Like I even keep talking to him. I was like, I can do more. Like what else can I do? But I feel like he wants to keep me where I am because then he doesn't want to pay me more. So it's just like there's nothing else for me to do.
That's exactly right. And I mean, the way you're talking to me, it's almost like you're bored.
Yes, it is boring. It's exhausting, but it's boring. Yes.
It's boring. And you don't need to be bored. You need to be challenged. And that's why I say, like, go back to school. You can do it whenever you fit it in and you get in with a bigger facility because so what that's going to do is it's going to put you on 12-hour shifts, but you're going to have days off.
Okay.
And those are when you work your schedule around your school.
Okay.
The money's going to be there. The money's always going to be there to find you. Don't worry about the money.
Okay. My concern, but okay.
Yeah, I know that's hard to like be like, don't worry about the money. Like, but it's easier to find you in the medical field in a larger facility than it is in a smaller one. Because you see how that's working out for you right now. I mean, you see it. You can do more, you're capable of more, you're trained to do more, but you're still not doing it.
Right.
You're not having those opportunities there because it's just not designed for that. But I definitely see you going forward. Um, as far as career confirmations, so you're getting the sun, which is an amazing card for like new opportunities, new things for you, finding you. This also talks about like family, new children. If you blend a family together, like potentially you could do with this guy, that would be you acquiring new children or having new children. Like it doesn't mean like you're going to get pregnant tomorrow or anything. It means that you expand.
Okay.
And that's what you're kind of looking for. So you're also getting the Two of Wands, which is very similar to the Two of Cups. We need to have go after our motivations, our desires. You're gonna have to take actionable steps. Like I said before, nobody's here to really hold your hand and save you. This next year is all gonna be about how bad you want it.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
Um,
recently, finances have been on my mind because the last reading you said save, save, save. And I
mhm,
kept that because I don't know why when I listened to it again, I was like, why don't I remember her saying this to me? Because
mhm.
the count was decent, but because I went on a reading binge because my mind was crazy, my savings isn't where it's supposed to be. So now that's why I'm like, I asked him for a raise when normally I don't ask people for raises. And I'm like, I have options open. And now I feel like I'm asking people like, hey, do you know of any places that like, or anything I could do like work from home? Like, so now like my mind is like, I need to get to another level because now I'm trying to bring in money quicker when in the past I've just been like, whatever, like whatever happens, happens. Now I'm like, no, I need money, like quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So this is going to motivate me to actually put myself out there because I've been like asking everybody.
Yes. And I don't know what other people have said. And I've unfortunately like I have a problem with people that charge astronomical prices, and I could probably charge more for my own readings, but I want to be accessible to people and not use people's last dollar. So that's why I keep my prices the way they are.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think you're going to have an amazing 2025. I don't think you need a reading binge
Oh,
to
I'm not.
to confuse yourself. I think you need to take one thing from one reading and focus on manifesting that timeline. Because
Yeah.
what that does is like, so readers, anybody who's worth their salt, like tarot is not one and done. This is exactly what's going to happen because everybody has free will in a tarot reading, but we can see timelines of success and timelines of failure. And unfortunately, what I saw the first time was a timeline where it wasn't going to be working out great. And I wanted you to avoid that. So that's why I kind of always give readings back to people and let people re-listen. And I encourage you to re-listen to this reading, especially throughout the rest of this year. And it doesn't matter if you come back again in 5 years or if you come back the following month. I always want people to listen to their readings because this gives you an avenue to focus on.
Yeah.
So for the rest of the year, in this interim, what you're going to need to focus on a lot is trying the opposite. It literally says try the opposite. So where you were like, I need to know a plan, this is the plan. Okay. If you're looking for answers, woohoo, here we are, the answers. Okay.
Okay.
No more reading binges, no more psychics, unless you're like in desperate need. I would say focus on what you take from this as like what resonates and move with it.
Mhm.
Don't just sit on it. And I think a lot of times in the past, you have gotten these readings and you've sat on them and waited for action to come and find you. That's just not
Yeah.
how it works. You
Yeah.
might have gotten lucky and situations came to you, but if that's not happening anymore, if like, I don't know, it's almost like I see somebody praying for you, praying, praying, praying. And I don't know if this is a family member. I don't know. It's like I see somebody over a red candle and they're praying for you, praying, 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 praying. And if you're not getting that anymore, or if you're not getting the success from that as you would, I would say definitely stay away from that. Focus on what realistically in the muggle world, as I like to say, you can do. Those actionable steps I told you, which is updating your resume, putting it broad. If you know somebody that can like put you in a better position, obviously say yes to that and be like, okay, well, let me see what I can do. And even if that job, like, if you're like, this is actually fucking boring, you can still say you have that management experience. I do see you at a bigger facility and I do see the money like coming in broader, but you have to take control of it.
Mhm.
Um, So the Hierophant also comes in again for you and says, yes, like this is a really good time to like manifest these things, like this time here. Not waiting, not listening to anybody else, doing these things now. Because what's going to happen is, I also pulled a card that if you kind of like back away and you're like, I don't know about this, Eight of Cups is going to find you. And the cups are our water element, our emotions. Um, and that is talks about juggling more than we can handle. And if you just kind of stay stagnant and like don't do anything, if you just wait for things to come after you are going to be like really hard out, like juggling for money, juggling for affection, juggling for more time. It's always going to be like there is not enough.
Okay. No pressure.
So it's not that I'm telling you to like go out and hustle your heart out, but I am saying like have a plan. If you know you want to go back to school and look for a different job, start figuring out, okay, this is where I can go back to school. This is where I've applied to this job. I can make these things work. And whenever you're interviewing, be honest about it and say things like, and again, this is going to come back to your primary use of language. When you're interview, I'm looking for a home in a job. I am looking for a place where there is growth opportunity because I want to stay and grow within my facility. If that's your motivation, I would use those phrases because either somebody wants you to grow within the company or somebody just wants, a worker. And you don't want to be a worker because you're not satisfied just being a worker right now.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? So that's how you feel out and you use your own intuitive senses because they're doing that of you. So you might as well do that of them.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to work the system just as much as the system is weeding and working out you.
Okay. Okay. And then can I ask about, like you said, you saw some woman or whatever praying over a candle. Could that be like a spiritual advisor? Because I worked with a spiritual advisor in the past. And then recently she said that if I paid her $300, she could do some kind of New Year's blessing. So I didn't carry the old energy into the new year. And I was like, she's like, I know you're strapped for money and whatever. And I said, yeah, I was like, I didn't get paid yet. So let me just get back to you. No, that's a no.
Um, I can advise that I I do spell work, but my spell work is not $300. And like I said, like I'm sure my prices could be more, but that just doesn't seem okay. I do not I just ethically don't agree with that type of pricing. And so I can describe what I see. I see somebody praying over a red candle, and it's almost like they have like a cloth or a covering over their head. And they have like these longer fingernails, and they're just like praying
Hmm.
over a candle for you
Oh,
specifically. And maybe their head's not like covered all the time, but from what I can see, they almost, so the cloth and the covering can be like a third eye protection.
okay. But this is a in a good way. They're praying for me, not like
It
sabotaging.
doesn't feel like the evil eye. It feels like intentions are good.
Okay.
But also like if they're saying you need to pay them $300, like I would just say use your discernment.
Yeah, no, I'm not paying her any money. I'm not. I was just like, no, it's okay.
I would say use your discernment. Everybody does things for different pricing and I but I do see somebody doing that and
Hmm.
it almost feels like their advice changes. Like every time you get something from them, they have a different avenue to say. And that seems confusing. Like it confuses me whenever
It was confusing. I, like maybe this is the same person. I don't know who else it could possibly be. I mean, because one time she said, "Oh, I see." She's like, "I don't see anything bad happening between you and Brian. Like I see everything great and whatever." And then the last time I spoke with her, she said, "No, it's time to move on. Like you're gonna meet somebody new, and he's not the one for you." So I was just like, "Well, how did you go from positive to like absolutely negative? Like it was just like a big confusion." And then she was just like, she's like, oh, "I'm sorry. I don't like when people feel like they had like false hope." And I was like, "Well, I feel like I had false hope because I don't know. It was
No,
confusing."
I try to be as honest as possible. I'm like, if he can get his shit together and you guys can have more better communication, because like I said, I think your primary problem was your use of language and like how that affected him. And if you guys can bridge those gaps, you have an opportunity to do very well. But it's going to take both of you working at it, and it's going to take you like being the energetic man in the relationship. You can let him think he's the man all day long. That's fine, whatever. But like whenever it comes to making the concrete plans, whenever it comes to like moving the relationship emotionally, like you can't really, as you've seen, you cannot wait for him to do it because he has a lot more battles than are perceived. And I mean, maybe she just didn't see that. I don't know.
But it's hard because at the beginning he was initiating so much. He would make plans, and then finally he asked me to be his girlfriend. I was like shocked because I was like, wow, it finally is happening after 7 months. And then 2 months later he ran away. But ever since he hasn't initiated anything. But at the beginning he was doing everything. I was like, wow, I finally met somebody that like is everything I wanted. And then he took it all away.
Yeah. So I would start slow with this guy. Son of Wands also comes in and talks about like a lot of new beginnings, a lot of fresh energy, but don't go in too hype
Mm,
because it's almost like that extinguishes it.
mm.
You know what I mean? Like you can't be overly excited because then he's like, ew, scary. No, back away.
Yeah, that's what I did last time. I was initiating too much. Again, bad advice from somebody, and then I think it turned him off again.
Yeah, so I would just take it really, really slow, really slow.
Mm.
As I once told somebody, wait to show the crazy. Okay, wait, that will pay off in
Okay.
the long run. We have 10 more minutes left. Do you have any other questions that I can answer?
I guess maybe just like general. I don't know. I don't really like what.
Oh, okay. I love a good general because those are good too. All right. So, ooh, okay. And then I can go over some of these. I pulled some homework cards for you if we had time for those. So, Ace of Swords talks about, remember, our mental, the swords are our mental and anything from the neck up. Ace of Swords talks about this is a really good time to manifest your desires, anything that you've had on your mind. This is the time to do it. You will have much success moving forward. But it's going to be a mental game. How badly do you want this? And taking control of that. But Ace of Swords for that. The Empress talks about you are really nurturing, very feminine. You have a lot of good nurturing qualities, and people like that. People are attracted to that. Also, like you've got some psychic abilities. I don't know if you understand this or know this, but you have like whatever you have going on, like culturally, you are really good at it. Because everybody reads tarot, everybody does divination a certain way. They're talking about any of like, I don't know, closed practices, practices that aren't like open to people like me, are open to you. And I think you can be very good at it if you lend yourself to being more open spiritually.
Hmm.
Okay. But you've got those abilities, you've got those gifts, and you can take hold of them if you want. So your kind of homework card is self-examination. What does it mean to be humble? In what ways does my ego or shadow side cause me to be less humble than I want to be? So this can be you kind of like working in where do I stand in my own way? We've been talking about, psychics, relationships, career, like what holds you back from making the first move? Is it fear? Then fear will dictate the rest of your life. And that will just keep you here. And you'll always be like, what the fuck? So you got to kind of let the ego go. So meditation, sit quietly, eyes closed in a comfortable position, taking deep breaths, envision your lower self, the part of you that struggles, that fears, that doubts. Focus on that part of you. Where is in the universe this part of yourself? What do both lower self you and the universe have to say about the you that's reflecting? So I would say that's higher self. Anything that you're like, I have a problem with, I have hurt with, I have just anything that's holding me back or like insecurities. I would say you need to kind of like have a little come to Jesus with yourself and be like, this is not going to be the year that insecurity kind of like dictates my life. And that's lower self work, right? And where we need to forgive ourselves. Or maybe in the past we made a mistake, or maybe it was just like a lack of knowledge. We just didn't know because that was knowledge that wasn't passed down to us.
Mhm.
Everything is a learning opportunity. And sometimes people are just like not raised with enough building blocks, enough emotions of how to navigate life, right? So we have to really, really put focus in where we can move forward. Quote, which is really interesting because you're trying to manifest this man.
Yeah.
Um, quote, nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know.
Okay.
So that's really I like that for you because you were like you're telling me you're like I don't think we're done yet. I don't think this is over yet. And literally you're pulling cards like it's not really over yet. And it's the universe telling you that it's not and that you're right about that hunch.
Okay.
You're not wrong. Um, reflection. Recall something encouraging that happened today. How can you continue that light for tomorrow? So that could be this reading, that can be, a phone conversation, anything good that happens today. How can you continue to grow that energy into the new year? We don't want to get bogged down with like situations that aren't going to be good for us, right? Or holding on to people that are not going to be that are more like this. What can you give me whenever it's your time now? What can you get in return before you give of yourself?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So also Six of Pentacles. We started the reading with Six of Pentacles. We're ending the reading with Six of Pentacles. You're going to get what you put into this. This is an amazing time for you to really just go full force and really changing your life and really making it look completely different than what it looks right now. And I know that might be scary because that's going to put you in taking charge in a lot of moments where you're like, oh, but I think it's really going to pay off. I do. And I see you being a lot more fulfilled, a lot more happier. So but you have to work for it.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever you listen to these recordings, just remember you started with the Six of Pentacles, you're ending with the Six of Pentacles, and it's all going to be not on your shoulders, but just how much you want it. And there's going to be a little shit that like comes into your life that's like, oh, well, she was bullshitting, or oh, are you sure? Going to be little tests that come after you. That happens anytime you're trying to manifest something. And you have to kind of hold on to it and be like, no, there's a future version of me that is happier, that has a better job. All
Okay.
those timelines are happening to you. Like there is a reason why you want to be in a bigger, better place, making more money, because there is a version of you that already has that.
Okay.
And you can feel that. And that's why you feel unfulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Does. Mm-hmm.
So I want you, whenever those times are like, I want you to start changing your language within yourself.
Okay.
And hold on to all these readings. I can put them on a web page for you, and you can just listen and listen to them all you want to.
I will. I will do that.
So yeah, I'll make a web page for you on my website, and you can just log in and be like, I need some encouragement. Let me listen. Because I think, oh, okay, so your last card is the death card. Expect a lot of change. The death is not like, oh my God, somebody's gonna die. This means a rapid year of growth. If 2024 was a shit year, or you've had a shit couple of years, 2025 is going to be like the year of yes, the year of movement, of change, of deep change for you. This is collectively, we're also in the tarot card, the Hermit, and this talks about like, just changing things for ourselves and being our own guiding light. And people are either going to run for that because that means that they have to do a lot of inner healing work, which is what I'm advising you to do. Look at like the point to which you have stopped yourself from success, or people are going to be really ready for it because they're over the shitty years.
Mm, yeah.
So I think this year is going to be really successful for you. And please keep me updated on all the things.
Well, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You have a good rest of your day.
You.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.